He is giving us the honor to be with us today to talk to you about the UAE market, its opportunities and challenges. Please join me to welcome Dr. Adil Alzarooni. أهلا وسهلا.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, thank you very much for the invitation and the chance to speak a bit about the UAE. In population, almost 70% of that 10 million are male, and that is because we have a substantial population that is blue-collar workers coming from surrounding countries. And I hope we become number one within the next few years in all of them. We are ranked number 14 when it comes to economic freedom globally. What are our strengths? Infrastructure. I have witnessed, and I'm not a very old guy, witnessed 3 or 4 crises. Not in all of these crises, the one thing the UAE government continued to do is to build infrastructure. They have never stopped. Whatever happens, we continue building infrastructure, which was really a reason why we recovered so fast and we continue to be number one in many aspects globally. We don't have an issue with currency, it's pegged. We don't have restrictions in money movement, which makes life much easier. When it comes to customs and VAT, it's very limited, anywhere between 0% and 5%. That's the limit of value-added tax or customs charges. It is now extremely easy to get visa to the UAE, and it's extremely flexible. Opportunities. We do catch-up work behind the government, whereby in every other country in the world, it's the other way around. It's almost tiring for us. We get exhausted. That's a good thing. We have a big budget to invest in industrialization. We realize we are extremely efficient in producing oil. We are extremely efficient in logistics, extremely efficient in transportation. We are extremely efficient in mining and handling metals, precious metals. We are becoming extremely efficient in tourism, and we want to become way more efficient in manufacturing. We have a very good location, even from a time zone point of view. We are 4 hours away from China on the one side, and 4 hours when it comes to time zone away from the UK and France when it comes to time zone. So we can deal with the vast majority of the world population within a 4-hour time zone. We are located almost in the center. So we can be a powerhouse also in manufacturing, especially in high-value manufacturing. And we are now, that's the next move for us as a country, is to become highly efficient in producing services, especially in the education and the healthcare services, and products, especially in high-value products. And there's a budget of 300 billion that's going to go into that within the next few years. Economic growth, we grew in 2021 almost 2.1%. It's projected to grow in 2022 4.2%. Our top partners when it comes to import and export: China, Saudi Arabia, India, United States, and Switzerland. These are trade summary values. We are at almost 4 billion $400 billion when it comes to total value of export. We are at almost $300 billion value of imports. We send almost 4,300 products to 216 countries, and we get almost 4,500 products from 211 countries. So we have a great balance between imports and exports. And we have a great connectivity with so many countries. So that adds value. Most of the FDI that comes to the UAE comes to wholesale and retail trade. I understand that a lot of you are actually in wholesale and retail trade. And that's actually number one FDI source. A lot of real estate activities. A lot of money coming to financial services and insurance. And now way more money coming to manufacturing as well as mining. Our main investors come from Switzerland, UK, India, USA, France, Austria, Japan, and Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Netherlands. So we are quite a popular destination for FDI coming from France. Possible investment opportunities in the UAE. What are the hot items coming up? There's a lot of spending happening in space. Healthcare has seen a huge jump and will continue to grow because the scope of insurance is widening. For example, I had four healthcare startups which I built and sold most of them. The next big jump in healthcare will be in mental health and in dialysis services, home nursing services, and our partners with a number of French companies that are the top players in these fields. Manufacturing is the next big spend, 300 billion going into manufacturing. Medical and wellness tourism. Abu Dhabi and Dubai are ranked amongst the top 10 in the world now when it comes to medical tourism. Retail and e-commerce. Most of the e-commerce players in the region have their headquarters in the UAE. Most of their imports and exports happen from our ports and airports. Renewable energy, many of you would say, well, what? Renewable energy in the GCC? Yes, we are big on renewable. There's a lot of renewable energy coming, is produced in the Middle East, and we intend to master it. We want to continue to be a provider of energy globally, regardless of the source of energy. So we intend to continue and maintain that advantage. Logistics, I think we are probably the number one in the world when it comes to number of logistical companies. And we continue to invest. There's way more money going into logistics. Education, we are ranked in the top 10 globally in education. I myself, I'm an investor in education, nursery, universities, and it's one of the most hottest fields of investment in the region. And they have performed very well in the Corona era, were very resilient, and they will continue to grow. Fintech, we are quite established as a financial hub. So fintech is a natural evolution. Entertainment, streaming, and gaming. There is such a huge gap in the Arab world on how much media per capita there is. We are almost 20% of the world average media per capita, meaning there is 80% more content that we have to produce to just come to the average of the world media per capita. Huge investments going there. We are growing amazingly, 9.5% CAGR year on year. So very hot industry. Education, only Dubai needs 134 new schools within the next 10 years. Because we expect around 200,000 more It's amazing growth potential. This is what the UAE government is thinking, is adamant on doing. I'll spend just a couple of minutes on this, and this is probably the last couple of slides. So they are focusing on healthcare, education, development, and environmental sectors. They are really eyeing the fourth revolution, industrial revolution, which is based on knowledge innovation. So you see a lot of emphasis on innovation at universities, at schools. They created this whole new system whereby an employee can go on a year leave to try a setup. They offer early retirement so that people will consider retiring early and creating their own entrepreneurial setups. So a lot of progress there. We have an ambition to develop a human settlement in Mars. We are spending a lot of money to do that, but it is happening. And naturally, we are all about imports and exports, so we'll be focusing on this. That's the only word I know in French now.